Alright, going to recap my day trades for today, Friday, November 15th, 2019, including a missed trade that I wish I had taken. You can see I put an arrow there. So when this LK, Luckin Coffee, when that was moving today, and you could see that it had gapped up a little bit today from yesterday. So here's yesterday, closed it around 21, what was it, 21.54. And it gapped up to about 22. So this showed up in my gappers list. You can see it right there. It's top list. It's a trade ideas top list I put together. Gapped up, and right at 22.74 area right there, I saw it creating this little pattern, this little bounce off of VWAP. It went through VWAP, kind of held it, and then started moving up, kind of like that nice little pattern. It's A, B, C, I guess you can call that an A, B, C, D pattern. This one was huge. You could see it just kept moving, and I just couldn't catch it at 22.75 area. And you can see now it went all the way up to 25.98. So that one I'm shedding tears over because I couldn't pull a trigger. And yeah, and the rest of my trades basically just a small gains today. So I'll show you the first one I took, which was a loss. No, the first one was a win. It was Oxy, which was also moving in the pre-market. So Oxy is an oil and gas stock, Occidental. So it had gapped up. You can see it had gapped up from yesterday. Closed at 37.76, and it opened at around 39, I think, today. Just above 39. So it had a lot of whip action. I didn't like it, but I did like that when you look at VWAP. It was holding below VWAP, so it spiked above it, but it closed kind of right at VWAP. Then had a big red candle, the next 5-minute bar, a lot of topping tails, and this was telling me that it was probably going to hold VWAP. It was forming this shelf. So I got in right when it started to meet up with the 80 MA, and I got in at 38.83. And then, like I've said this before, I like nice smooth moves. So when I see this big drop like this, I start to go into scalp mode because I'm worried about a big pop back up. And it did hit my first target, but I got out all my shares right here at 38.73. It's just 10-cent gain. It's kind of a bummer. I feel like a lot of my scans seem to be geared towards scalping sometimes, because I'll get alerts to these stocks, and then all of a sudden there's a big drop. So I prefer a nice long movement where I can gradually move my stop with it and take profits along the way. But I just had to get out all my shares here at 38.73 for a 10-cent gain. That was it. And it touched my first target, but then you can see it did bounce. So I mean, I was right in assuming it was going to bounce. I just didn't wait until I hit my first target before taking profit. So small gain on that, 10-cent gain. Then a loss, which I'm kind of bummed about because I played this one wrong. IGT, which you can see had earnings. I think it had earnings yesterday and had a big green bar yesterday. Big movement yesterday, a lot of big movement. I almost got into it yesterday and I could not. So I saw it moving down, and it started to recover, and it got over the 8 EMA, and I thought the cross was imminent, so I just got in. I got in way too early. I should have waited for confirmation, and you can see right away it pulled back, and it hit my stop, and I got out. So I got in at 15.51 and got out at 15.39, just below. I set my target would probably be about 15.40 as a stop. So as soon as it came down there, I said, all right, I'm out. And you can see it did continue lower, so it was smart to get out when I did, but then it came back up. So just a stupid trade. There's no clear pattern developed as of yet. It was too early. There was no sure sign it was going to break through this 10 EMA on a 15-minute chart or hold the 8 EMA on this 5-minute chart, so that was a shame. But then one last trade I had was a semiconductor stock, which was MXIM. And this one, again, it was probably a stupid trade to get into at all. It was on the yearly, getting alerts. On the yearly, it was messy here. Yesterday was a big down day, but it gapped up. So it was a tough one to call. I said, you know what, it was the end of the day. I said, maybe I'll take a little trade here, because I had a little cup here, a little downward action, recovered, and I assumed maybe it would return to the opening, maybe turn green. But with all that daily mess near it, it was probably too much resistance. But it came down, and I thought it was holding this 8 EMA. Kind of fell below it in the 20 SMA. So I got in here at 20. What was it? I'm sorry, not 20. 57.87. started moving against me. You can see it got real close to my stop. I did not exit. I held it. I said if it hit 57.74, I'd probably get out. It actually only went down to 57.75. So I held it, and then it had a little bit of a move up, and I said, I'm done. I want to be done for the week. So I got out all my shares at 57.92, 5-cent gain. So no great win there, but at least I got out without a loss. I made some money. And then you can see it did come back down. So there's no clear pattern here. This was stupid. The one I should have been taking was LK, where that pattern was clear right from the get-go that I was making a nice smooth move up. I just couldn't pull the trigger. So those are the trades.